If you have a Galaxy Watch, there's a good chance you're not using it to its full potential. This, being made by Samsung, is an incredibly powerful watch with a ton of hidden features that most people just have no idea about. And so in this video, I want to share with you 25 of my favorite Galaxy Watch tips, tricks, and hidden features that can absolutely bring your watch to the next level. Now, some of these are total game changers, and others are just subtle improvements that make day-to-day use a little bit better. And in aggregate, your watch can be so much more powerful than most people realize. And the best thing is, most of these actually work on older Galaxy Watches too. So this right here is the brand new Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. I'll be showcasing everything on this watch, but many of these, like I said, work on the 4 or the 5 or the 5 Pro. There's a lot of other ones out there. And by the way, there are two right now that are brand new, the Galaxy Watch 6 and the 6 Classic. And I have other videos comparing those to the 4 to each other. And so if you need help choosing the right Galaxy Watch for you, I recommend checking out those videos. So getting into this list, the first one is the quick launch gesture. Now, of all of these, I absolutely love this one because it allows me to do things hands-free. So to put this very simply, if I flick my wrist down twice, it can launch any app of my choosing. I could launch a workout. I could do a lot of different functions on the watch, or my favorite is to launch Google Assistant. So to enable this, you simply go to Advanced Features, go to Quick Launch, and turn this on. And while we are in the Advanced Features section of our settings, the second one on this list kind of has two within this one. The other two gestures in here, the ability to answer calls and to reject calls, or to stop timers as well. And there are two different motions for this. You can twist your wrist, or you can like flick your arm up and down twice. I think the second one's a little bit strange, but twisting your wrist makes sense for that. Thirdly on this list, we have the ability to rearrange apps in the app drawer. So when you swipe up and you have your app drawer there, you can simply tap and hold on any one of these apps and drag them up and down so your most used apps are at the top, and the ones that you don't use nearly as much can be moved further down. Next on the list is the ability to enable modes. So on Samsung phones, one of the most powerful tools that I like to use, and I talked about that in my Samsung Galaxy phone features video, and I'll link that below as well, was modes. So you can have modes for work and for working out. You can have them for at home, for evening, for night, for sleep, whatever. And each one can change a plethora of different settings, not just the brightness, not just your connectivity, but you can also trigger these based on location or based on your watch. Next up, we have the ability to tell the time with vibration. If you go into accessibility and go to advanced, you can turn this on, and this allows you to do two things. One, if you tap with two fingers, it'll tell you the hours for time. And if you double tap with two fingers, it'll tell you the minutes. So just by tapping it, it'll vibrate and it'll tell you like the time of day, which I think is so cool if you're somewhere that is really dark and you want to know, if you are vision impaired. Next up, did you know the Galaxy Watch can act as a remote for your phone's camera? Specifically, if you're using the Galaxy Flip, for example, as soon as you open it up into flex mode, obviously that's one of the big marketing aspects of this, to just stand in front and take a selfie. But with the watch, you can automatically prompt you to open the remote, and you can take photos just from your watch without having to like set a timer and run back. Moving right along, it's actually easier than you think to replace Bixby with Google Assistant on your watch. All you have to do is go into Settings, go to Advanced Features, go to Customize Keys, and change the top button when you press and hold it so that it no longer opens Bixby and instead opens Google Assistant. Then you just have to go into the app, turn on Google Assistant, set it up on your phone, for example, just sign into your Google account, and you're ready to go. This, in my opinion, is so much better than Bixby and has a lot of powerful functionality. Speaking of that, you can also customize the other buttons on your Galaxy Watch. For example, the top button can open the recent app, it could go back, it could open a specific app. Same with the bottom button. You have a lot of powerful customization here as well. Probably the most important feature Samsung added, in my opinion, on the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic is this. No longer do you have to reset your watch when you upgrade your phone. Now you can transfer to a new phone without resetting. It's very easy to do. You go to Settings, you go down to General, you say Transfer to new watch or to new phone, and it's very easy to do. You don't have to reset anything. I don't know why it took so long for this feature to exist, but I'm so glad we finally have it. So those are kind of some general watch features, but if we move along into health and fitness focused features, because that's a lot of what we're using the watch for, there's plenty we could do here. Number one, you can set up personalized heart rate zones on your Galaxy Watch very easily by going to exercise. So if you just open up like the health app, go to exercise, choose running, for example, go to settings, and you can enable heart rate zone guide. If you haven't done this on your Galaxy Watch, you are absolutely missing out. And honestly, dare I say, using your Galaxy Watch wrong. If you go into the workout, so if you just go to, say, a run, for example, tap on the settings, you have to go down and customize the workout screen. By default, it's a total mess, and it doesn't show data that's relevant for everybody. I always change this so the first screen shows me my pace, my distance, and my average pace. And speaking of tracking runs, most people run further than their Galaxy Watch actually tells them, and that's because they're missing out on a crucial setting that allows you to track the entire workout. You see, most people don't know this exists, and by default, they start a run, counts down 3, 2, 1, they start going, and the GPS probably won't count about the first quarter mile. So in order to change this, you go to your workouts, you bring up run, you tap on the gear icon below that, and go down to cancel the 3-second countdown. You don't want a 3-second countdown. You want to wait for it to lock in the GPS, so you set it to manual mode, and I promise it will be way more accurate. This could be a big game changer. Now, this next one is specific to the Galaxy Watch 6. The Galaxy Watch 6 and 6 Classic actually have sleep coaching, which gives you a specific animal profile based on how you sleep, and that can help you to better understand how you should change your habits to optimize your sleep, whether that is going to bed at more consistent times or changing the temperature or anything like that. And all you have to do is go into your settings and activate sleep coaching. Also, while you're there, be sure to enable blood oxygen sensing and skin temperature during sleep so that you don't miss out on more details to your actual sleep tracking. And in addition to that, the latest Galaxy Watches have the ability to track your snoring and record it while you sleep. So you can listen to yourself snore the next day so you can figure out how you can sleep better. With the temperature sensor on this watch, we also have the ability to predict periods with skin temperatures. Now, this is still technically in labs, as they call it, meaning it's not perfect, but it is something that could potentially be a valuable asset so you can predict when your period is. The next two I'm kind of bundling together into one, and this is using your watch to take some more advanced scans. I'm sure a lot of people do know about this, but in case you don't, your watch, for one, can take an ECG, which is a really powerful tool. You simply go to the ECG app, and then you can use your index finger on your opposite hand to touch the button on the top and hold it there for about 30 seconds. It'll take a scan and tell you if your heart is in sinus rhythm. In addition, we also have the ability to do a body composition scan. Take this with a big grain of salt. It depends on your arm position, the time of day, what you ate, what you drank. So it's definitely not perfect, but it could estimate your body fat, your muscle composition, your skeletal mass. And speaking of making things easier, your watch can also auto-detect activities. Personally, this is one of my most used functions on here. I go for walks all the time, and I can't tell you the last time I started a walk, which I think is great because sometimes you just go on a walk with friends during your lunch break and you forget to start your workout. And with the latest update of the Galaxy Watch 6, you can actually customize your heart rate alerts by going to Samsung Health settings. You can have a high and low heart rate alert as well as irregular heart rate alerts, which could be very powerful because not everybody is actually keeping track of, you're not taking ECGs all day. So your watch more or less checks that about once an hour throughout the day. And if it detects something, it could potentially save your life. And one last Galaxy Watch tip in this section of the video: if you're somebody who likes to go for runs and listen to music, but you bring your phone with you, you're carrying way more than you need to. You can actually play music. You can download Spotify, for example, or a lot of other music apps on your Galaxy Watch 6 or 6 Classic or 4 or 5 for that matter, and you can actually connect Bluetooth earbuds to your watch and listen to music offline while you're running. I actually don't know what number this is on the list, but we're getting there. There's a couple more to talk about. This next one can actually make a big difference. I have a friend who actually just had her phone stolen last week, and if she had this setting enabled, she would have detected it so much sooner and possibly found the thief. This is phone disconnection alerts. So you can have your watch notify you when your phone was either left behind or disconnected, so that if somebody stole it, if you forgot it, if you lost it, you'll figure it out just a little bit sooner. And just as much as your watch can save your phone, your phone can save your watch. You can actually charge your watch wirelessly on the back of most Android phones, really well on Samsung phones, obviously, but you can also connect the charging pad on the back if you have your charger with you and plug that into the bottom of your Samsung Galaxy phone, which will act as a power bank and charge your watch very easily without having to set it exactly on the back, because that little charging pad, like, it just stays on a little bit more easily. Now, touchscreens can be finicky in water, and so if you wear this watch all day, for example, when you're showering, you might have problems with the touchscreen. So what I recommend doing is swiping down from the top and tap on the little water drop icon, which enables the water lock so that you can't touch your screen, water won't affect it, and you won't accidentally change settings or open apps or call your uncle. Like, you won't have any of that. And then when you want to turn it off, you just press and hold the top button. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, I really recommend going to accessibility settings and just check out the accessibility enhancements. I think Samsung did a good job of adding visibility and audio enhancements for anybody who's visually or hearing impaired, or anybody who is maybe not as stable. Like, there's fall detection on here, there's SOS on here. If you're in trouble, you can just press the button a bunch of times and it'll call for help, it'll call your contact. And so I think a lot of that can make this a very powerful tool for anybody who is potentially in a dangerous situation. So I guess I'm gonna count all of those as like one on this list, even though that's like a bunch, but I don't know. It was something that I thought it was worth mentioning because it's a nice feature to have on your watch, and I think it can make a big difference for somebody. So some people don't know this, but if you look at your Galaxy Watch really closely, there's a little icon on the bottom. And some people don't know what this is, but if you tap on it, there's 2 times this icon appears. One is when you're working out, and the second time is when you're playing music. So if you have music playing on your phone and you have earbuds in, on the bottom of your watch, you'll see the little music icon. You can tap on that, it'll open playback controls. Similarly, if you're in a workout and you change screens, you'll see on the bottom a little workout icon. You can tap on that, it'll bring you right back to your workout. And last, but definitely not least, the latest Samsung Galaxy Watch software allows us to have Samsung Wallet rather than just Samsung Pay. So no longer is it just credit cards and debit cards on here. You can now have other things which would previously be only on your phone. For example, tickets or maybe membership cards, things like that, you can now access on Samsung Wallet on your Galaxy Watch. So those are my 25, but maybe more tips and tricks with the Galaxy Watch 6, or really any Galaxy Watch for that matter. If you have any other ones, leave them in a comment below. And since you enjoyed this video, first of all, thanks for watching this long. Second of all, I recommend watching this video next, where I talk about more Samsung Galaxy Watch stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike O'Brien, and I'll see you over there.